This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by freekeene.com.
Who's being ridiculous?
Whoa!
Watch it, buddy.
Whoa, that is...
You do not do that.
Did I bump you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are sorry.
There have been a lot of small pieces, yet controversial pieces, of liberty news coming out of Keene, New Hampshire over the last few weeks. I'm going to try and collect it all, or at least collect a few of the more interesting parts and the more interesting video clips, because there have been a lot of authoritarians behaving badly this last month. First, though, to be fair, let's start with some liberty activist behaving badly video. Here's marijuana activist Rich Paul of Keene, coming off kind of passive-aggressive at Keene District Court.
You don't shut up about false arrest. You do not shut up about abuse of rights. You do not shut up about violations of the Constitution. And everybody who does is a pussy. I'm saying.
You offer some coffee at the court? Do I think feeling the need a couple of I'm sorry, man. That was not really addressed to you. That was addressed to just you. I actually picked up 2 real charges.
Of course, unlike some of the authoritarians you're about to see, he's not hurting anybody. Still, nastiness and niceness are best alternated rather than mixed. And niceness is usually the better of the two. It's important to put his outburst in context. Rich was there to have charges dropped against him that day over his alleged trespass at the Keene jail. His presence on jail property about a month ago resulted in his arrest, but the arrests were controversial because not all the activists were even informed that they were not welcome there. So when this inappropriate arrest of Rich was made, any evidence found as a result of that arrest should have been inadmissible as well. In other words, any subsequent charges should have been thrown out as well. But they were not. Rich was charged with having marijuana in his possession when he was arrested at the jail. So anyway, he's arguing that since the arrest never should have happened in the first place, it's a false arrest, and he shouldn't be charged for having marijuana in his possession, since they never would have known about that if they hadn't made a false arrest in the first place. It sounds like a legitimate beef to me. As always, these arrests triggered follow-on activism. In this case, it's happening in the courtroom. The process of prosecuting freedom activists in New Hampshire tends to get sloppy. Or maybe a better word is messy. Here, an activist named Adam, I believe, is removed from the courtroom for allegedly sitting in the wrong seat.
You got people behind you also.
Each of the activists hauled into court this day, 12 of them in all, take a slightly different tack in dealing with the judge.
Sean Murphy.
Murphy, this is a criminal trespass charge alleging a Class A incident. Can you hear me?
Most of this video was taped around June 1st, and what you don't see in the video here is the increasing sophistication of the activist group's information spreading process. While some of the activists were in the courtroom, at least one was downstairs with a walkie-talkie, collecting information and then rebroadcasting it on the Free Staters broadcast hotline, porcupine411.com. Activists also repeatedly videotaped in the lobby, where videotaping is supposedly banned. Several of the trespassing charges were dropped this day, but other cases will be going to trial. It looked to me like, I guess, roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of the charges for trespassing were dropped out of the 12 arrests made. The activists Auburn, Rich Paul, and the activist Capuzzo, each of them, I know, I can verify, had their charges for trespass dropped after walking onto the jail grounds and being arrested. But a lot more has happened to these 12 really inappropriate arrests. A lot more has happened in connection to that day. So much so that I will have to place it in a separate report, so stay tuned. You've seen the dramatic Liberty arrests in Keene, New Hampshire. Now see 111 reasons why you should move there and reinforce these gutsy activists. Keene's advantages are compelling. For details, visit freekeene.com.